So, yeah, he just licked me, and I kind of got paralyzed, and I was into it. Okay.
Oh,
no. So stupid.
I want my Pokemon lick me for it.
Paralyze me. You want my gun, break into my house, tie me up, put a ball gag in my mouth, do a little impact play.
Prepare for trouble. Make it double. To protect the world from haunted ROMs, to unite all people within Iran, to denounce the evils of literary consistency, and to extend our arms like Staryu with Misty. Anyway, it's Fearfic with Chelsea, Abysmii, and Brandon.
So my keyboard shit the bed, so I had to get a new keyboard, and I love how clacky it is. Listen to that.
What did you do? Did you get too much cum on your keyboard? Was that why it broke?
A lightly cummed on Gardevoir card. No, it's it just randomly stopped working in the middle of playing a video game.
Oh, that's the worst.
And you get the giant shit of like cords and wires that you like pack and try and organize correctly, but because you organize them correctly, it's like really hard to navigate into the cords to get out the cord.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it, this keyboard's broke. So I just used scissors and cut both ends of it and just kind of like slurped the cord out like like it was Lady and the Tramp. I just slurped it out. No, okay, so Pokemon. Chelsea and I have recently got into the cardboard crack addiction of Pokemon because I guess it's just something that's in the zeitgeist right now.
Well, was it Violet? What's out now? The two just came out, like the most recent version.
Pokemon does cause violence, yes.
Yeah. Pokemon Violent Edition.
Violent Edition. No, I guess the new games came out, and also at the same time, you get like these influencers buying Pokemon cards, like skyrocketing the value. It's also the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, so like all the stars are aligning to get people back into it. And we were in my hometown, and I guess, I don't know, I was just feeling nostalgic, and the sun was high in the sky, so we couldn't like drive back home yet. So we're just like, let's kill some time in a comic book shop. And we just walked out with like $150 worth of Pokemon cards. We're like, what happened? No. Did somebody upsell us? No, nobody upselled us. We're just idiots.
Well, I've now been in two situations where two different friend groups have been like, you know Warhammer 40K, right? Yeah. You used to play Magic like 15 years ago. Well, they did a crossover. Come over here. We got to open these cards. You got to tell us everything. So I think everyone is slowly just getting back into that cardboard crack addiction. I
think, part of it might be that because we had lockdowns and the only way we could interact, us nerds, was playing online games, it made us just like realize like, man, sitting across the table from somebody else and just putting down cards and pretending your Pokemon are battling is something that's really valuable.
Oh yeah.
Actually last night, Chelsea and I went with one of our friends to a tabletop cafe type thing where it's like, it's a bar, it's a cafe, and it's also a place to play cards. Oh my God. We had such a great time.
Nice.
We did just like, I don't know if people know what a draft is, but we just opened up Pokemon cards and had to right then and there make a deck, just out of what we had. And it was excellent. We had a great time doing that.
Yeah, 100%. I've definitely been slowing down on like video game purchases and just been buying tabletop RPG books because, oh man, I would rather just play that with people physically at this point.
There's always this like thing of like, hey guys, we're going to play a card game. And it's like, oh God, I got to learn the rules. But like every time you learn the rules, then it's just like, oh, this was totally worth it. Mm-hmm. I can scarcely remember, like, there's like one or two times where people are like, hey, play this game with us. And it's like, oh, God damn it. I got to learn new rules. And like, you guys already know how to play the game. There's like 5 people here that know how to play the game and I don't. And then by the end of the evening, it's like, oh, yeah, I want to go again. Chelsea, you haven't even put as a woman?
I'm having fun.
Do you like the cute Pokemon?
I do. They're adorable. I don't remember their names, but they're adorable murderers.
Oh, you know what? I recently hosted my brother-in-law and his girlfriend over for kind of like a early Christmas over here. And he had his Switch and he just bought the new Pokemon game. And he's like, in our downtime when we're, in between activities or whatever, he would be playing it. And I was like, dude, you want to put that on like the main screen? I have a dock as well. And he's like, I've never thought to do that. And so he did that. and then it's just two of us just like playing Pokemon and yelling at it going, where the fuck is this stupid NPC you have to talk to? And it was like I was back, when I was 10 or whatever, when I first played Pokemon. It was lovely.
We used to have so much longer attention spans where it's like, oh, I haven't found the NPC in 5 hours. Oh, well, I'll try and find it tomorrow. And nowadays, like in a game, if you can't find the NPC to talk to, I just have a panic. I'm like, no, it's been 5 minutes. Why hasn't the HUD navigator told me where the goddamn
Where
NPC
do I go?
I literally have like this guilt and shame of I'm going to have to look up a guide, and I should not have to look up a guide for this. Why is this so hard? Am I stupid? Is the game stupid?
I know that you are a lot more crunched on time because of your busy job, but like I have a decent amount of free time. But even still, I'm just like, listen, I ain't got time to find this goddamn NPC. Okay, this is just turning into like a DMV thing. It's like, yeah, I need you to go over here and fill out this form. It's like, no. Tell me, this is too much like adult life. Just let me find the NPC immediately, put it on the way navigator, put a little, an arrow on the ground, just leading me directly to them. That way I can shoot them in the balls, steal their money, and then be on my way.
Yeah.
It is funny just how much these things have changed. The Pokemon game, card game, has changed dramatically.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Yeah.
So much for the better, and I'm so envious that the game got really interesting right as I was like done playing it, because when I was a kid it was just like, okay, my Pikachu does 10 damage to your Ghastly that has 30 HP, and that was like the game is just these incredibly small transactional numbers. Now, like you got to get out the calculator, and you really got a meta game of like, I'm not going to heal this Pokemon because that's still going to be a one-hit KO next turn anyway, and blah blah blah. Like it's so much more complicated now, and I think they just underestimated how smart kids are to learn these rules.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a lot funner now.
That's good. No, that's nice to hear, honestly.
Also, we kind of like justified getting Pokemon cards of like, hey, my nieces are getting to be that age. Maybe I should ruin my brother's finances by giving them some Pokemon cards and then getting them addicted.
Oh, that is. Well, you know what? Would you rather that or them being addicted to V-Bucks?
True, you're not wrong. They're
going to be addicted to some commercial bullshit. I'd rather be Pokemon cards.
If they're addicted to V-Bucks and playing Fortnite and getting the FOMO skin,
we'll disown them.
The fear of missing out skin, where it's like, hey, this skin's only going to be available for 2 weeks. It's like, okay, but is it a good skin? It's only going to be available for 2 weeks. That is not really a social thing. I made so many friends playing Pokemon as a kid, just going out teaching other people how to play Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's a much more social event than being spawned in with 99 other people and, getting one hit KO'd and then queuing up for another thing and never seeing those people again.
Yeah. No, totally agreed.
You can ask Chelsea. I became a shut-in when Overwatch was a good game because I would it's like, man, I really don't want to talk to anybody in this game. I just want to play it.
I don't think I ever talked to anybody in the game unless I was playing with friends. Like, I never went into voice chat.
Unless there was like an inoffensive troll, not somebody just like, shouting the N-word over and over again, but like somebody like actually trolling in a funny way. It's like, oh, I'll participate in a little bit of trolling on this,
Sure.
But, how often do you really come across a troll that like says anything fun or interesting? It's pretty rare.
Anymore, not really, no.
Unless it's like a role-playing type of game, like, SCP Foundation game, like you can get some pretty funny role-playing in there. Some cringe stuff too, but
For sure.
All right, so Pokemon Lavender, Scott's Turmoil?
The fuck is Scott? Scott Cawthon?
Scott. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes. Haven't
Lavender,
you read the story?
Lavender, purple guy? Oh, no.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we're doing this.
Freddy Fazbear Pokemon Lavender Town Turmoil. This is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, you're going to be Slimebeast. You go last.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, that's fair. She's just, all right, yeah, sure, why not? All right, so...
Can you say conditioned?
Condition.
Conditioner.
I've been drinking.
I've been chugging it.
Why are you talking like a minion?
Because I can.
Conditioner. Can we get a boomer meme of a minion just drinking a bottle of conditioner? All right, so I got a ROM from my friend the other day. Told me it was interesting, but that I hadn't played it too much. That they hadn't played it too much. Okay, it was too buggy for them. I was interested, so I got everything booted up and began playing the ROM. It started slowly. Honestly, took forever to start up, which pissed me off, but whatever. After all, it was a ROM hack, but it eventually did open. This is getting back into our ADHD, our TikTok brains. We're just like, listen, the game has to load immediately. Back in the day, load times were just like, man, I got to go to the other room and pour myself the soda. This is going to be
Load times were like 15 minutes. Like, I have enough time to make some popcorn, make a hot chocolate.
Well, now it's weird because you do have games that are almost seamless, and then you have like AAA games that do have kind of old school load times, and it's like, shouldn't your $8 billion that went into this game kind of have fixed that? It's kind of weird. It's always weird when they're like, yeah, we need cutting edge graphics. And I'm like, I really don't care about the graphics as long as it loads immediately. At this point, yeah, I could give a shit less about graphics. We hit a point where, okay, cool, like everyone has real sick graphics. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, bring back those Okami graphics.
You bring me back PS1, PS2 era, N64, poke your eye out with a pixel graphics. That's what I want.
Yes.
Back when getting out of bounds was literally just about running at the corner at the speed of light, and you will just clip through the corner. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was obvious the ROM was originally from Pokemon Red, as it started pretty much the same. The only difference was the name and the starting screen. Instead of the usual Charmander and classic Red Trainer, it was much different, replacing the Charmander with simply a Squirtle, which was odd. I like that they always use the term simply when simply doesn't really apply. That is like the number one amateur, simply instead of. That shows up in all of the ROM hacks and the haunted game cartridge, haunted lost episode things. It's always simply. Instead, it was something else. Peculiar.
Pokepastas are so derivative of each other, and I'm not even maliciously. It's just like the format is so ingrained that everyone, there's just this unspoken rule of everyone has to use the same phraseology and the same structure. As if it's almost like the Holder series, but no one's numbering all of these, but they might as well be numbered. Pokepasta 1 through 50. It's weird.
It is. There is something soothing about it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is good or anything or bad or whatever, but I am saying it is soothing to the brain of just yes, the exact twist I expected.
Right.
Especially considering this was Pokemon Red. As for the trainer, they look slightly different. Instead of the shortcut the original trainer had, this one had a thick head of hair held up like a ponytail. I was about to read that ponyta. And continuing the game, I found...
That's what it should have been, though.
It should have been. You're right. Yeah. It should have been a Ponyta tail.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where, in My Little Pony, they say, everybody should lend a helping hand. It's like, you forgot to put hoof. Technically, it should be... It's always been weird whether there's animals in the world of Pokemon or not.
It should have said mascots, not cast members.
It's true.
Ugh.
Continuing the game, I found our new protagonist's name, Scott. He wore a purple jacket instead of the usual red, and a bright purple turtle necklace. A regular turtle? Oh, turtleneck. Oh my god.
Turtle necklace.
You worked through it. You got it.
So that should be a Squirtle necklace. A Squirtle neck.
It should.
A Squirtle
It should
neck.
be a Squirtle neck. He should have a ponytail hair and a Squirtle neck.
If you guys are going to write a Pokepasta, you need to just go for it. None of this half-ass shit.
Not just the Pokepasta, the official Pokemon company should also be doing this exact thing. They should be selling the, hey kids, you want to look cool and tactical when you show up to play Pokemon cards? You got to have the Squirtle neck.
Oh boy. Other than the weird starting screen and brand new Pro Tag, the game played the same and it felt the same. The biggest difference was just the purple hue over the entire screen. It made everything a soft lavender color. I would love if that was the only difference. I bought a version, a ROM hack, and it was just purple. That's it. Spooky!
What if it was purple? Yeah!
Yeah!
Which was pleasant on the eyes, if I'm going to be completely honest. Another thing that was interesting was my new rival. Dude named Adam from the dialogue between the two. This dude named Adam. It seemed like Adam and Scott were really close, like best friends sort of close. Like maybe, go out on a date kind of close.
Maybe hold
Maybe
hands
not.
and smooch kind of close.
Not penis to penis close, but
But they definitely have a
cloak.
lease together. Close.
You want my Pokemon
Yes.
game? You kiss me for it.
You kissed me for it. You break into my house. You kiss me.
Rob me, but make me feel safe. I love that fucking video so much. They spoke to each other for a bit, expressing their excitement of becoming Pokemon champions. Adam playfully teased Scott, saying he'll be the very best there ever was. Oh my god, they said it.
They did.
This is making me realize, like, some of those Team Rocket outfits do have Squirtle necks.
Good point.
That is a good villain thing to do. I think Chelsea and I should really dress up as just like, not Jesse and James, but Team Rocket characters, and just show up with guns to a card store and just steal little kids' Pokemon cards.
Absolutely.
And we should bring Cassie with us.
We should bring Cassie with us and just put like a little necklace on. Yeah, put a little necklace on her that just like has her finish our like little saying.
Yeah.
Make it seem like Cassie is talking like the dog from Up.
Yes.
Oh no.
Preston will be like, officer, it was an ironic crime.
It was a goof.
It was a goof, okay. Chelsea, I think you're going to be Scott.
All right. Are you going to be Adam?
I am.
Cool.
I'm going to be Scott Adams. People are going to get mad at us on Twitter.
Oh no. Scott, are you ready, man? This is a big day for both of us.
Psh, of course I'm ready, bro. I've never been more ready for something in my entire life. We're going to be champions, Scott. Champions. And I'm going to be the very best. Can I take a moment? You get to a certain point in your life. Where you stop wanting to be the very best like nobody ever was, and you just settle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a point where I think you can kind of measure adulthood and maturity. There's a point where being really good at video games is everything, and then it's not. And that's when you get responsibilities and a social life and all sorts of other things.
We've been conditioned by hustle culture. Hustle culture is just like, gotta catch them all. And like eventually you just realize, I gotta catch the ones that are most important to me. I don't have time to catch them all.
No, I really don't.
There's too many of them.
Yeah.
Scott?
No, moment of silence for childhood desires.
Press F. Rip childhood.
Oh, please, don't get your hopes up, man. I plan to beat you faster than you can even think.
I'd like to see you try. Now hurry up. The professor wants to see us. This dialogue is dialogue you would see in a Pokemon game.
It really
Yeah.
is.
I'll give it that.
It's not exactly mature dialogue, but the writer wrote what you would expect to see in there. The Pokemon writing, like the themes, can kind of get deep, but the way that characters speak has always been really shallow and just very nonchalant. It's like, I'm a bug catcher. I'm going to go out into the woods and catch bug type Pokemon with my bug net. I'm a bug catcher.
I remember in Red, like I forget what road you're on, but like a girl trainer comes up to you and says, "My boyfriend thinks I'm really cool," and then you battle.
Oh my lord.
amazing. I love
vaguely
it.
remember that.
It's the best.
Oh my! Like no one ever was. Do you want to read this paragraph, Chelsea?
Yes. After their short conversation, it was right to the professor. I wasn't able to choose my Pokemon when I got there, though. I was instantly given a Squirtle. Squirtle. Which puzzled me.
Is this an alternate cry for Squirtle? Squirtle! Oh my lord!
I myself would have.
Peter.
Lois Griffin just doing all the Pokemon cries. Charmander.
Yes.
New England accent Pokemon is a great idea.
Oh, I love it. Make it
Pikachu.
Come on, Nintendo. Make it happen.
Oh my god. I myself would have chosen a Charmander, but this could work too. Even weirder was the fact I couldn't rename the Pokemon. It was automatically named Squirtle, which was such a boring name.
Hey, fuck you.
It was automatically named Squirt.
Oh, Squirt. I'm sorry. Scott seemed thrilled, though, remarking about how excited he was for his little Squirt.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen them squirt before. Going and doing our first silly battle, I saw pretty quickly how strong Squirt even... God damn it. Oh, god damn it. How strong Squirt even was. It was a little more dank than I was expecting and smelled strangely like pee. Dude was a beast. Knocked out Adam's Charmander in a matter of seconds. Adam jokingly called Scott a cheater for winning and told him he'd eventually beat Scott one day in battle for winning bigly. Told him that today just wasn't that day.
Scott and Adam went their separate ways, and I went on to catch more Pokemon. The game was back to normal again, just running about fighting trainers and catching Pokemon. Though something that bothered me was the fact I just couldn't change my damn team. You're in a Nuzlocke, fool. For example, I caught an Eevee, who was renamed the instant I caught her and placed on my team. Pepper. Cute, I guess. I suppose it just added to the challenge of the ROM. That'd be a terrible ROM. Here's a hack version of Pokemon. You can't change your team. It completely negates the point of Pokemon.
You can't change your team, and also we picked out names for you.
You get to make no choices.
Yep.
It's like when you go to the kennel and it's just like, yeah, we're going to adopt this dog right here. It's like, great. The name of the dog is Bruce. No. As soon as we get out of here, it won't be.
You
cross that out on a
its
pet
name's always going to be Bruce.
The dog only recognizes Bruce, so Bruce just becomes come here. If you're wondering why I'm calling my dog Bruce when the name of the dog is Pepper, well, that explains it.
Speaking of the ROM, man, did it glitch out at some parts. It was like...
Speaking of the ROM we're talking about in this entire story. We've been talking about the entire... Speaking of which...
Speaking of the ROM, it was just like the further I went into the game, the worse the glitches got. Sometimes I'd get into battle and the Pokemon would just not show up. Got stood up by his own Pokemon.
Lol. L.
L. I'd have to run or throw a Pokeball to even get out of battle. And
Pokemon
when I did...
L and Pokemon W.
Oh, no.
And then the third one that has the unique Pokemon of Pokemon ratio.
Oh. When I did throw a ball, it just said, there is no one there. Other times, sprites wouldn't load in or even look correct. Sometimes sprites would mesh together into amalgamations?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't help her.
Of parts from other characters. It was a little creepy, I won't lie. Even weirder was when Scott would just talk. He'd pause in the middle of battles and recollect on things, or freeze mid-walk and say something on his mind. It was usually something like, this weird, or this isn't right, yada yada. I just brushed it off most of the time. That's an interesting idea. What I really enjoy, my favorite Pokepasta of all time was written by Frosted Many Fears, and the idea was like that a Pokemon game was programmed to be Islamic, Islamic fundamentalist propaganda, and that's the twist. And it's like, oh, that's a cool idea because it's something that could like happen in the real world. And so like I think in modern days you could do the same thing, but it's a ROM hack that comes from China, and it's just like I obey the CCP or the CPC. That's what they want to be called anyway. This idea of
The sprites being messed up though is, I guess, believable because like that happens in Pokemon. Like you can corrupt the data really easily.
Yeah, I forget what it was about like the first games. They're just how they're made was very, very particular and special that you could just ROM hack them to the ends of the earth and back.
Leveling up Scott's team though was a breeze despite all the glitches. Squirt rose up.
Sure they did.
And levels faster than I had ever seen from a Squirtle. He was a Blastoise within no time and was sweeping through gyms like that. Just sweeping the floor. Like, had to put down a bunch of signs that said wet hazard. And Pepper became a Flareon, which was great. Within became a Flareon? That's not how you gotta use the little Firestone or whatever. You have to put the Firestone tires onto you have to hit the Eevee with Firestone tires and it becomes a Flareon. Okay, this is common knowledge.
Fake fan wrote this. Calling it now.
Yeah. Calling it now. Not a real fan. Caught in 4K plus Pokemon L. Within a couple of hours, I was near the end of the game. The final battle was right in front of me. I could feel it. I knew it was gonna be an easy battle.
Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy.
Oh,
Are we
boy.
gonna... so hopefully some like actual creepy things. You know, I will say there's some attempts here at like foreshadowing and stuff. They're not the greatest attempts, but there are some like actual attempts at like, hey, I'm not just going to drop you into creepy stuff or wait until the very end. There were like a little bits of like, hey, stuff is off.
Yeah, a little bit. But on my way to the gym, I encountered an oddly placed Haunter. I didn't have time to even think. I was immediately thrown into battle. It was a whopping level 70. I had no chance of beating this thing with my low-level team. Shocked, I went to run, but the option just wasn't there. I wasn't even able to flee. I had to fight this thing. Scott's sprites were different this time, too. He was shaking a bit. His fist clenched around the Pokeball with extreme force. I'm just thinking of that Arthur meme. He even refused to send out Squirt for a good while, saying, well, you don't want to squirt for a good while. I mean, you know, gotta work up to that.
You gotta save it.
Yeah. Saying I don't want him getting hurt over and over again. I kept trying, and eventually he did send the Pokemon out to fight, but Squirt was knocked out before I could do anything about it. This thing was fast and strong as all hell. I didn't know what to do, so I tried to catch it. Scott refused again to even throw a Pokeball. No, we're not catching this thing.
Stop trying. This is unsafe.
Ellipses, fine.
Fine.
Not like this.
It's not even a fine. It's literally just fine.
Fine.
Chelsea, you want to get this part?
No. A Pokeball was thrown, and somehow we caught this thing. We were both baffled. How? How did we even catch it? It was way higher in level than us. We should have lost, yet we just didn't. The Haunter was named Lavender and was placed swiftly onto our team. But this was good. This was good. A level 70 Haunter? I could easily knock out Adam's team now, especially considering I was just about to battle him for the last time. I made my way up to Adam and began the battle. Lavender was sent out instantly. I was excited. This was going to beat the game within a day. I could rub this in my friend's face. This game wasn't that buggy. At least that's what I thought.
It wasn't that buggy, but I was just about to speed run it through its own internal game mechanics.
But I did drop through the floor a couple of times.
I also like that the main character of this is a little bit immature. It doesn't read so much as like the writer being immature. It does read more like the person playing the game is immature.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Adam sent his Pokemon out. A level 62 Pidgeot? Pidgeot!
Haunter! I will say, Lavender is a good name for a Haunter.
Yeah.
Like, I know Lavender Town and Lavender Town Syndrome, but like that's a good name for a Haunter.
I'd agree.
Lavender used Shadow Claw, and with that, the game crashed. I was jaw-dropped. No! Did I lose all my progress? God, I was going to be furious if I did. I started the game back up. The starting screen was different again. There stood Scott, looking down at the floor, his hands in his pockets. Beside him was Lavender, grinning. I got back into the game and was met with a message. A black screen filled the background as purple text came on screen. What have you done? I have you done this?
Take that line again, Chelsea.
What? What have you done?
What have you done? What?
What have you done?
What have you done?
What have you done?
Every time we like fuck up a line and saying something in real life now, we've just like devolved into doing Clayface. Oh, man. The screen slowly lit up, revealing the scene. Scott stood in front of a mangled, bit-crushed Adam.
Ooh.
That's a good... That sounds like a great name for a DJ.
Oh, yeah. Man, yeah.
Bit-crushed Adam, but it's like Atomic Adam. Yeah. His sprites were all over the place, changing and flashing around. Beside Scott was Lavender.
What have you done? What have you done? Scott exclaimed, clearly distressed. He walked up to Adam and reached up, grabbing his shoulders and shaking him. Adam! Adam, talk to me! He yelled, shaking him even faster. He didn't reply. Adam, answer me. This isn't fucking funny. Answer me. This is Pokemon. This is real life. He shook him one final time, shoving Adam against the wall. Ooh, okay. No reply. Scott turned away from Adam. Oh, no. Children. Facing Lavender.
What have you done? What have you done? Why isn't he responding? What have you done? He cried. Lavender just sat there, wearing the signature Haunter grin on her face.
Calm down, son. It's just a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Scott turned once more, looking around before looking down, facing me. I should have never thrown that Pokeball, he said. I like how dramatic this is, but it mentions a Pokeball. I never should have thrown that Pokeball.
Yes. Oh my God.
It's just such a ridiculous.
It's like I should have never taken that last shot at the
Should have never got your mom pregnant.
My God.
Oh, he said before going quiet. I was back in control. Lavender sent back into her Pokeball. Oh, I was just assuming that this was... that's my bad. I thought this was a male Haunter. But Lavender, I guess that is kind of a girly name.
I don't know. It's almost 2023.
I really need to understand the mechanics of this. Like,
of the name Lavender?
No, like, do Haunters fuck each other? Like, is that how this works?
Can incorporeal beings fuck each other?
Okay, let's just take it away from that and just go straight over to Pikachu. Okay. Can a Raichu and a Raichu mate? And if they do they make Pikachus or do they make Raichus?
They would make Raichus. If we're believing in that silly liberal myth of evolution, you can't, two humans don't make a Neanderthal. They make another Homo sapien. So, yeah.
Okay, so if you evolve all of the Raichus in the world, do Pikachus stop existing?
In theory, yes.
This makes no sense. All of this breaks my brain. It gets even weirder because, like, okay, can you have Ash's Pikachu, right? Ash's Pikachu goes for like 25 years without evolving.
Yeah,
that Pikachu's of age.
Well, that set aside that, like, Pokemon are also wild. So, like, there's Pikachus in the wild that will breed that do not evolve, that will just make more Pikachus. And actually, so do Pokemon evolve in the wild? Or can you only evolve them through battling?
No, they can evolve in the wild just through grit and determination.
Okay.
And then there are certain, I like the idea of just like a bunch of Eevees coming upon like Firestones in the wild and just like tripping over them and just having a growth spurt immediately. I guess I can shoot fire out of my butthole now.
Look at that.
But no, so like, Ash's Pikachu, what are the power dynamics here? Can a Pikachu and a Raichu have consent?
Yes.
What if, hear me out on this, the Pikachu is very mature, but the Raichu is immature?
Are we ascribing... Okay, Pokemon have sentience, yes? Probably like
cut out
more...
There.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, try again.
Pokemon have sentience, right? That's kind of established?
Yes. I mean, Meowth can talk.
That's true.
Meowth is a New Yorker who speaks New Yorker.
Oh, God, this is too deep. This is too deep even for this fucking story.
It breaks you, right?
There's a lot of ethical questions and a road I do not want to go down.
Okay, but bring this back to Haunter. Can two incorporeal beings produce and just out of Ghastly?
Maybe.
I still feel like the evolutionary line of Ghastly should be reversed. I think you should start more corporeal and become more incorporeal. So, because that just makes more sense.
I mean, look at it like
does.
chickens. Ghastly's like the egg and the yolk.
Mm.
And then like the Haunter is like the chicken when it doesn't have its final like feathers yet. And then like Gengar is like full chicken.
But they're not. They're ghosts.
Full ghost chicken.
Never go full chicken.
Never go full chicken.
It's always been very nebulous what Gengar and Clefairy even are, because they're just like little.
I don't know what the fuck Clefairy is. Like, oh, it's just a fairy Pokemon. Wait, what? But what type of fairy? Because they just look like mammals. What do you mean?
Okay. I got one more question on this whole consent thing. A Clefairy and a Gengar is that
Walk into a
permissible?
bar.
Because walk into a bar, have a few drinks, and then go Netflix and chill.
And then they wake up and it's like, what happened last night?
Oh no,
then,
we produced a Jigglypuff? Oh no.
Well, then you get, the call, right? Like your girlfriends call you up and they're like, you didn't go home with that Gengar, did you? That is just antithetical to all Clefairy kind.
Ooh. Now we're bringing race into it.
I was thinking more just like him being a predator. They just don't trust him. He does have a listen, babe, he has a long tongue. And sure, after
so does Lickitung. I don't see you going down on him.
Well, you don't know that I haven't.
Oh.
So yeah, he just licked me, and I kind of got paralyzed, and I was into it. Okay.
Oh no.
So stupid.
My Pokemon lick me for it.
Paralyze me. You want my gun, break into my house, tie me up, put a ball gag in my mouth, do a little impact play.
Tickle me a little.
Blindfold me so I can't see what's happening, pussy liberal.
God damn it. Oh my god. Before going quiet, I was back in control. Lavender was sent back into her Pokeball, and I would, of course, you would have lavender hair and pronouns, and was free to roam again. That was surely something, but I did finish the game, I suppose. But man, the game after this point was barely playable. Scott would constantly stop moving, just standing there only saying ellipses for multiple seconds before moving once more. I tried to battle some more trainers I went around, but they were all too broken to battle. Scott himself even glitched out too, his sprites flickering and flashing in and out now and then. Nothing was working anymore, and Scott was obviously not as cheerful as he used to be.
I was left just shocked. I couldn't get rid of Lavender. I couldn't do anything to get rid of her. I tried swapping her place with another Pokemon, but she'd just come back. Any person I went to would shy away or would just be too broken to even speak. Finally, I decided to go back to Pallet Town. Aw shit, here we go again. Maybe something was there. Upon entering the town, Scott stopped.
I'm done. I've had enough with you. A battle started. He was fighting Lavender again. It was a rough battle. I couldn't even play it. It was all automatic.
All you've done is made my life a living hell. Nothing is normal because of you, he yelled. In fact, everything is ghost type. See, that was a joke because normal. I know you two got it. I just wanted to make clear. Scott sent out Pepper. Pepper used Fire Blast. Just leave me alone. Lavender used Shadow Claw. Pepper fainted. Scott sent out Arcanine. Arcanine used Ember. Let me have my life back. Lavender used Shadow Claw. Arcanine faded. So, like, what we're getting here is, like, this battle is supposed to be representative of something happening in real life, I think, is the idea.
There's a lot of that in Pokepastas. Like, someone uses a character or a Pokemon or an NPC in the game as a surrogate for, like, someone in their life or some aspect of their life. And a lot of Pokepastas are therapy, is what I'm realizing.
And, that's fine. The question is, fine. What is the intention behind writing these stories? As long as it's goal-oriented, and if your goal is to, let that be therapy, that's all cool. And I'm not trying to bully that. My question would be, if that is if the intention is that these things are supposed to mimic real life, we need to have more clues throughout that that's the case. Like the prototypical example is been drowned, but been drowned built up to the idea that the characters in the game were representative of something that happened in real life. And then like as the story goes on, you get that information. But all we have here is that a friend handed them the ROM and we don't have any external information. You know what I mean?
It's like the information in the ROM is made and by and for someone else than our narrator. And so we're an extra degree removed from who this should be in regards to. So we're kind of left scratching our heads going, okay, well, what does that mean?
And, there is every possibility of like getting that and then, potentially investigating it, even though there you kind of get into like Jer symptoms of like, why are you so invested in this? But like there could be like some sort of like investigation and not get all the answers, but we need some answers, I think.
Yeah.
We need some explanation. We know that, whoever has made this ROM hack is not happy.
Very, very clearly. Where are we at now?
And so on.
And so on. And so on. All his Pokemon were almost instantly wiped out. It was sad to watch, really. But finally, he got to his last Pokemon. Squirt! Scott paused, holding the ball for a long while.
Scott paused, trying to hold in his Squirt.
He didn't want to let his Pokemon out, but he sent him out. Scott sent out Squirt. Squirt used Hydro Pump.
No.
This is all your fault. Lavender used Shadow Claw. Squirt fainted. Scott was left staring at Lavender. This is all your fault, he yelled once more. He stood in place, refusing the flee. He held on tightly to his Pokeball, staring straight at Lavender. Lavender used Shadow Claw. That was the last thing I saw was that message. The game shut off once more. I tried to play it again, but I simply couldn't. It just wouldn't work. What the fuck just happened?
Been asking that all story. No.
I've been asking that since I opened this thing.
Oh man, that wasn't terrible. I think that there was like a decent amount of buildup in that story.
It started a lot stronger than it ended. I will definitely say that.
And I will say that the first paragraph probably needed work because it just like immediately drops us into like, hey, there's here's this ROM hack that I got, and it just tells us a bunch of details about like, yeah, everything was purple instead, and it's like, okay, but like, why should I care about reading that? There should have been something to hook us a little bit more at the beginning, but I see what you're saying.
I mean, and granted, I don't know if this is the right thing to do when critiquing a piece of literature, but because we are reading a Pokepasta, I automatically give a lot of things a pass. The bar's pretty low. For sure. And I don't know, something about the art associated with that kind of gave me good hopes, but the art on the page I might not use in the thumbnail or anything because I don't know who to properly credit that art with. Yeah, no, don't.
Yeah. But that was the art intrigued me. The art might have given the story more attention than.
Well, congratulations! You just accidentally did a Do Not Steal episode.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, if you want to click on the link below, you'll be able to see the cool art associated with it. It's like a glitched out Haunter and a character. I don't know if they commissioned this or what the deal is, but the art is pretty cool. I'll try and get to the bottom of it. But do we want to read Nurse Joy's secret since it's a short one?
Sure thing.
I have a bad feeling about this story.
You have a bad feeling about it. Why?
I think it's going to be bad.
Oh no.
Is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. It seems promising to me. She has a secret, If there was a YouTube video entitled Nurse Joy's Secret, I would totally click on that video and figure out what her secret is.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever asked this, but Nurse Joy or Officer Jenny?
Ooh, I like how much of a Valley Girl Officer Jenny is. What about you, Chelsea?
Officer Jenny, I think.
Same.
Okay, so we're all on the same thing of all Officer Jennies are babes.
Yeah.
They jab.
I would rather hang out with Nurse Joy. I think she'd be like, especially just like as a coworker, but Officer Jenny,
She also just has like, she's nice and sassy. I like that. She also just doesn't she enforces the law the way she wants to,
Who's the governing body?
Yeah, who's the ultimate Officer Jenny?
I'm actually
Is it just like a mega Officer Jenny?
There's oh man, what if all the Officer Jennies were in the pocket of Team Rocket? Because what's his face, the leader of Team Rocket, Giovanni, thank you. Like he just like owns the government.
Probably. I also like that they're just like, yeah, we have this crime boss. What should his name be? Giovanni. Peter, Giovanni, Nurse Joy. This is a story about Nurse Joy, as you might tell. You're probably thinking, OMGs, he's gonna get a hacked game. No, a secret kept by Nurse Joy that I figured out.
Every time you go to the Pokemon Center, you think she heals your Pokemon, but instead of doing what you think, she instead puts your Pokemon in a basket under her desk and replaces your Pokemon with new ones.
Oh, it's forever puppies.
She then takes your Pokemon and kills them. She thinks this saves her time and effort and work.
Huh?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Instead, it just increases her workload.
Putting a Pokeball in a weird incubator and then giving it back is a lot less work than killing Pokemon and replacing them with new ones that you somehow have to get.
No. This makes perfect sense. This is the PETA logic.
Listen. Oh, you're not wrong.
Ooh.
all of these no-kill shelters. Listen, that's not how you save dogs. The way you save dogs is putting them into the shotgun room.
Murdering them.
Is killing them.
I like the idea of like Nurse Joy just like taking your Pokeballs, putting them under the desk, and then just like loud flashes of a gun going off under the desk. She just pulls up other Pokeballs.
You just walk out, you just hear.
You just walk in. You walk into the Poke Center, and there's just like a bunch of like really out of place signs saying "Vote yes on this bill," "Vote yes on Bill X17" or whatever. Like, right? And then you just like you're in line, you're given the Pokeballs and everything. You're just waiting, and you're like searching on your phone, like, what is this bill? It's just like, oh, bill for gun silencers. Why is this Poke Center really into gun silencers?
This is really, really Second Amendment Poke Center.
Why does it smell like gunpowder?
Oh.
It's just like, and also, why are they making me wear these headphones?
God damn it.
Just the screams of Pokemon. Oh, the only thing is she's so nice, you don't notice how quickly she changes out the Pokemon. There's no way to ever stop this. If you mention it to her, she will do to you what her other secret was. You turn into the other Nurse Joy, and you will do the same thing she does.
Okay, that's better. That's some stupid ass logic, but I like it.
I don't know if you know this, but there's like two old Pokepastas that do both of these things. Is like one is really? Like they're killing the Pokemon and giving you new ones, and then the other one is you become a Nurse Joy.
Okay.
So it's trolling and taking both of those concepts and putting them into one story.
Oh my god. The only thing is she's so nice. You don't notice how quick she changes up the Pokemon. There's no way to ever stop this. Oh, wait. Did you just read that?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Never use the Pokemon Center again. Always use potions and etc. Okay. But be careful with that as well. There may be a secret with the Pokemart as well. You never know. Sorry this was so short. It really wasn't a good creepypasta. From the author. Was
this like a sincere attempt? Because I'm not sure.
I
feel like with that note at the bottom, it might have been, but like...
Because I thought it was trolling. And then I read that, and I'm like, oh, wait, was this trolling?
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of confused.
Oh, my God.
I mean, like, I feel like a PETA Nurse Joy would be fun, but like...
Yeah. Like, it's if I ever could like write a piece of Pokemon media, it would be that Team Rocket is actually trying to stop the horribly unethical, cruel dogfighting that is Pokemon battles. And they're just like, it's all propaganda that they're this evil like mafia organization.
Ooh.
That would be good.
Yeah. But
it's just
Nintendo doesn't have the balls.
to go up against the Italian Anti-Defamation League. That
It's
that
supported
is
by the IDL.
I do like that idea though. That's a great idea. I was actually kicking around the idea of writing a story from the perspective of James from Team Rocket, where he's like a rich kid. And my idea was, instead of having him be a like Caucasian person, he was going to be like an Arab person in a world where there's not Pokemon, but he just like discovers jinns, like the idea of like, a Middle Eastern demon, right? And that's what he has, is he just has like his Pokemon, but they're demons, and just trying to play it straight and be like, he can't control them and they just go out and do bad things. But he just is a lonely kid, but like likes the Pokemon, likes the Jinn. So he's just like, well, I guess I have to be evil and just do evil things because, which I guess is kind of like the Team Rocket story, is they're just like these bumbling, well-meaning idiots who do evil things.
Yeah. And I don't know, man, like I loved how goofy and kind of insincere first generation Team Rocket was, but like every time after that, like whatever, it's not even Team Rocket, it's Team whatever, like they try to go so serious with it of like, no, there's this international conspiracy and we're trying to blah blah blah. Like look at how you're dressed. Shut up. Stop taking this so seriously. Just have fun.
Yeah, I don't think that they're ever going to top those two characters and Meowth, because they're so likable, and like they show up and they're like, we stand for evil, okay? Evil based. It's like, that's such an insane position to take. It's not like, like in a lot of games or whatever, or like there's redeemable villains where it's just like, listen, I think that this is for the moral greater good and blah, blah, blah. And like maybe they learn that they've been led astray or whatnot or whatever. But you can see their logic. They're just like, no, evil, correct.
Yeah. And you can't question it. And a lot of the pressure's off. And it's just great. I'm evil. Why? Because fuck you. That's it. Like that. I love it.
It's like a wrestling character. They just show up. Yeah. Very flamboyantly announce their entrance. They're like, look at me.
An unapologetic heel it's just fun to get behind.
Yeah, you can't get mad at it. You're just like, I'm kind of rooting for these two like middle-aged people to just beat the shit out of this 12-year-old boy. Like, I agree. Yeah, that's...
I want them to get in that hot air balloon and just rob children from it. That sounds like a good time.
You're automatically an evil person if your method of transportation is a hot air balloon. Like, why are you using a hot air balloon? Well, it's more eco-friendly. It's like, no, okay. We're evil, but we're not that evil.
Why hot air balloon? Because fuck you. That's it. Can't question it.
Oh, man. Pokemon's cool.
Pokemon is cool, and my nephews are actually collecting the cards now, too, now that I think about it. And I gave them all of my old ones. I was like, put these to good use. Someone else needs to use them.
Instead of hoarding them and trying to hope that they go up in value.
Oh, yeah. Turning them into NFTs.
I don't know if you saw, but there was like, whatever his name, Logan Paul or Jake Paul, one of them, like bought a box of unopened base set Pokemon, like the entire box, that you would get at the card store, right?
Right.
So they opened it up and like blah, blah, blah. And it was like this huge deal because that was like the most expensive thing to ever happen in Pokemon, is them buying it and opening it up. So like a month later, a guy who's like this crypto bro or whatever buys a pack, like a guy buys it from like this crypto bro. And like, I guess he was under the assumption that they weren't going to open the box immediately. And so he's just like, oh, we're opening the box right now. And they're like, yeah. It's like, and you want me to stay here for this? And they're like, yeah, you're selling it. You're like part of this like documentary thing where we're going to open the box. Like, it's going to be a huge YouTube video. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, if any of the cards are fake, I was assured that they're real. And it's like, okay, why are you saying that? And so they open up the box, and like immediately it's just fucking fake cards. It's just a bunch of Chinese knockoff cards.
Beautiful.
And the guy, the whole time, they for some reason give this guy infinite passes, even though he's acting suspicious as fuck. And the entire thing is live streamed. And it's a bunch of Pokemon nerds watching it. And they're just like, oh, that box is fake. They're calling it out a million miles away. They know a million miles away that box isn't real. As soon as it shows up, the guy starts acting suspicious.
It's like that Zach Baggins special he did with whatever that like demon box of Jewish lore is or something, and he had the rabbi on and he's like, what do you think about this? I think everything you think about this is wrong, and I'm an expert. Oh, okay, can you come over here for a second? Hard cut, and he's no longer on the live stream. Fucking beautiful. That's unfortunate. Like, I do wonder how much Zach Baggins knows what he's doing or doesn't. That is the eternal question that keeps us all invested. We do not know if he's just a charlatan or an idiot. Probably both. But goddamn, if it's entertaining. If he's just an idiot, then that is really charming. Mm-hmm. But like, it gets weird if he's not. No, it gets ethically questionable if he's not, because he's done some potentially really fucked up shit. No, I love it when stuff like that, when people get caught in 4K just being stupid. Oh yeah, and you try to go to bat for these people and say like, yeah, crypto isn't as bad as people say it is. It's not as good as people say. And then these people just do this, like they just show that they're unbelievably gullible. And it's just like, well, I can't really come to your defense. You're just an idiot. Chelsea, you have any closing thoughts about Pokemon?
It's fun. Don't do it.
It's really cool. Don't get into it.
I love how Chelsea and I both recently got like pretty significant raises, and we're just like, we should go out and develop a bad habit. What am I going to blow this up?
I already have bad habits that take up my money. I don't need the rest of this.
Tell you what. Get a mortgage, and then all of your bad habits will disappear.
I don't want a mortgage. That sounds like a bad idea. Doesn't that translate to something funny from French or some shit?
I used to know.
Chelsea keeps like mispronouncing the word, the Pokemon Gardevoir.
Yeah.
What do you keep saying?
Gardenia,
which is not even phonetically remotely what the word even looks like. Like, I get that it's French, but even like it doesn't look like that. I looked up the word. She just chose 3 syllables to throw together. Gardenia, just that. That is what like your parent would purposefully mispronounce a Pokemon that you loved as Gardenia. Yes. What is it again? Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
I
looked up the word Chevrolet because I was like, that's French. That wasn't just made. What does that mean? It means herder of goats. So now Chevrolet I make fun of anybody who drives a Chevy. It's like, oh, you like goat herding? That's funny to me. I guess you could use them to herd goats. You could also use them to run goats over. You could.
You could fight goats in a Chevrolet.
Enough goats might win, actually, though.
Yeah. Tonight on 5 Goats versus a Chevrolet.
It doesn't end the way you think it does. The goats just eat the whole Chevrolet.
Well, you would have to do some things to give the goats advantages, right? You would have to set it up to where it's like... Well, no,
because it doesn't say like a person in a Chevrolet. It just says a Chevrolet.
That's true. And
without somebody in it to drive it,
the goats would just they would just like bust open one of the windows, climb in, start eating the upholstery, and just kind of eat it from the inside out and drive it.
Could you imagine like 5 goats driving a Chevrolet that they're eating?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Go ride the whip.
Go ride the whip. Fucking hell.
I'm thinking the rules would be like there's 5 goats, but there's numbers painted on them, and so it's like rules where you have to like get them in order, and so the goats are running around the arena, and you have a driver trying to hit the goats in order, and they have a time limit.
Could do.
Or we could just goat ride the whip.
Yeah,
I prefer that.
All right, I think
cut it there.
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts were Chelsea, Abysmii, and the Brandon. Edited by Elias the Intern. Music by Abysmii. Art by CF Chelsea. Subscribe to Fearfic if you want to enjoy some more Fearfic. And don't buy Pokemon cards. Or do.
With great humility, Dexter Lashfield is offering advice to the free world from the center of democracy, North Korea. Lashfield's seminars have been described as helpful and empowering to those with power by the Global Times. Now the one-armed 4X warlock and self-help wonderkin is breaking his silence.
The Western media has accused me of seeking shelter in a communist country after breaking U.S., Guam, and Guatemalan laws, but the truth is, the law is governed by consent. If they can't catch me, they consented to my economic hacks. After all, they didn't say no.
Miss Blackthorn asks, how do I money?
Money is subject to inflation and deflation. The best thing is to start focusing on valuable skills or trades such as slave acquisitions or slave retentions, and if you're really skillless, slave immolation.
Wiggly82 asks, what is the best way to dispose of unwanted meat?
Chinese dog baths.
Falstaff asks, hey Mr. Lashfield, you single? Also, could you tell me why no one likes the meatloaf I bring to the potluck? I think it's really good meatloaf, but everyone flocks to Brenda's macaroni salad when I saw her buying it at the Stop and Shop.
You should start buying your meatloaf from the Stop and Shop, where I meet women like Brenda. I've tried Brenda's macaroni salad. So does that answer your single question?
Recan Child asks, how do I stop finding corpses everywhere I go?
Stop looking for corpses. That's what I did when I confronted the obviously dead bodies by the police. Play dumb. I don't see a corpse. I see an anonymous donation to the police chief's ball. Or blackmail.
Bat asks, what are you the holder of?
I hold a lot of false promises I promise to make good on. I genuinely believe the promises I've broken and unbroken with a tactic I call cooking the books.
Rapid Radioactive Raccoons asks, what would a 10-word summary of your philosophy be?
We must ensure the existence of God to challenge him.
Double asks, how uncanny can Mr. Incredible get listening to Fearfic?
You know, I don't watch cartoons for children. Things like Paw Patrol and teaching children to trust authority figures like police officers and scientists. Soon, the kids will be worshiping Jesus or an actual God. It's a slippery slope, but I've seen it happen.
Feng Shui asks, can I save my soul by offering you my arm in temporary place of your own?
Salvation of one's soul can't come from a simple messenger like me. See, your arm is basically worthless. Imagine one day you woke up with one arm. That's what happened to me. It just so happened that that day was my birthday. I don't remember it. I only remember crying, the vivid feeling of anger that my mother would allow me to be born, that my father didn't kill my mother to prevent this terrible fate from happening to me. See now? No soul can achieve salvation without bargaining. Only market forces.
Rapid Radioactive Raccoon asks, do you have any advice for others who are considering entering the self-help field?
The only thing you can do to help others is start by helping yourself. I know that it's cliche. When was the last time you did something for yourself, like enjoy a $500 USB advice stick or deposit money into my PayPal account? Perhaps even seeing your friends' faces light up when you tell them about me. There is no better way to be selfless than by helping yourself to me.
If these webinars have helped you, understand you owe your life to Dexter Lashfield and his new home, the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea. With nothing to envy, I've been Frankie Soot. For the Dexter Lashfield Rumor Litigation and Self-Help Limited Liability Company.
What are they gonna do? Sue the Kim family? I basically invented IP theft.